Welcome, Tim Freke. It's a pleasure to have you here today in this conference of SAN 10 2012. I saw your presentation and I was quite moved and touched by it. And I didn't know you had written a book till somebody else told me afterwards. And I had an opportunity to look at the book as well. And what I did enjoy most was your way you brought humor into your philosophical talk. And I am a kind of a believer that jokes or humor do bring moments of enlightenment. And I learned that from my colleague, I don't know if you know his name, Friedhof Capra. The man who wrote Tower of Physics.
Amazing book.
Yeah, we were in the same class.
Oh, really?
At Imperial College.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was the one who, when we were having a beer in the bar, he mentioned that. I said, this sounds like a good idea, but you just came out quite open about that. And I was like, every moment was so spontaneous that actually I forgot. I was sitting there and I was just in another domain, another deeper self of mine that the mind just went out of the window. I just was so focused on your voice that I thought it was in someone else, and that really touched me. So I wanted to ask you, how did you write this book, the Mystery of Experience, and you talk about this wow thing, and I'd like to really understand what actually happens there.
Well, the way I wrote the book is I lived a life. I lived 53 years on this strange journey.
Okay.
And I spent most of it wondering about what it is.
Okay.
And the reason that I think there's so much humor in what I do is that it seemed very funny. It seemed both very profound and troubling, and also very funny. That we were living this life as if we knew what it is.
Okay.
But really, we don't.
That's what you actually mentioned in the book, But what was exactly...
My experience was that it started really when I was 12 years old, just spontaneously.
Yeah.
That if you're stuck in the story of thinking you know, don't get me wrong, I think we do, it's interesting what we know, and I love science and knowledge, and I love to be educated, but I'm also aware that underneath that, what is it? We don't know. And if we go into that mystery, consciousness changes.
Okay.
So that if you're on the surface, you have a kind of superficial awake state, where you know what you know and you're living your life, and it's amazing, but if you drop down into the depths, suddenly you become what I call deep awake. And you're aware of, it's still the same as it was.
Is it like a gut feel?
Well, it is a gut feel, actually. It is.
Okay.
But it's also, for me, as you come in, it's huge spaciousness.
Okay.
Like I'm everywhere.
Okay.
Like there's no boundaries between anything, because all the discrimination is happening in the story.
Yeah, it's like as you say, like a waves on the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you come into the depths, it's one ocean. And there's this profound oneness in this deep awake state that you've come into through the mystery. And that's what I mean by the mystery experience.
Okay.
And why that's wow.
Yeah.
Well, the reason
I like that word because it's very catchy.
It is, it's a great word, isn't it? And it really came, why in the book I ended up calling it the wow, is because I've been taking people to this deep awake state at my mystery experience retreats, which I do over a weekend usually, with 20, 50 people, whatever, in all types of people, all places, men, women, young, old. And what I found is that if you do it, that if I follow this philosophy and practices that I'm exploring in the book, take them on that journey, nearly anyone can very quickly go, woo. And the word that people use when they write to me afterwards is usually wow.
Wow.
And usually in capital letters with a lot of exclamation marks.
That's how you be trademarked.
Wow. And I thought, well, actually, that's the word I use. When you really see, when you see yellow, when you meet another being, and you really see what's happening, it's wow.
Okay.
The moment is wow.
Is it like you get mysteriously connected with that person, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when you see that we're both separate and not separate from each other, from the flowers, from the floor, from the air, then rather than it being some sort of abstract idea or abstract spiritual experience, it's very embodied.
Very practical, very alive.
Yeah, very alive.
Okay.
That's a great way of saying it.
Very alive.
And one of the things I think that happens to people, certainly happens to me, it's almost like I've just remembered that I am alive. But when I'm going alive. But you know what I mean? In the story, there's a kind of numbness. It's very narrow. It's like you're looking at the life through these little slits, that's all you see. And then you come and do that, and it's, oh, I am alive. Oh, I'm alive. Oh, my God, I'm alive.
More than alive.
What is this?
Yeah, okay.
So you're deep awake.
Yeah. Okay.
And the love. I mean, I've got to just throw the love in because, you know, when you...
So the love comes from the deeper level?
I think so. You know, when you... I think all love, in all of its different manifestations, is when something is two and one at the same time.
Okay.
I mean, right down to sex.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, two bodies become two and one.
Right.
You know, when you love another person, you're two and one. You connect through the separateness, but you're connected as one, but you're still separate. Okay. When you see something beautiful...
A bit like what you said, yin-yang type.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Okay. So that you've got... So it's... Is it two? Yes. It's separate, but it's not separate. Yeah. And you're seeing the ground of being unifies everything. Yeah. And then from that recognition... It's complementary, yet it's interconnected. Lovely. Exactly. Complementary and interconnected. Whenever you see the reality, you actually experience that, there's this deep love, which connects everything. It's just a love of being. So it doesn't matter what background a human being is, you can use this wow technique to connect. I think so. I mean, as long as the language is clear. Yeah, I think if you want to be a better basketball player, or a better lover, or a better friend, or a better businessman, you might need to change. But to be better at what you already are, you don't need to change. You just need to notice it. So this can be applied anywhere then? Anywhere. In a career or anywhere? Absolutely. Because it's all about connections, isn't it? Absolutely right. Okay.